I made the last video that I did on the announcement, the recent changes that the UK VI has come out with, yeah, that was published on the 17th of July. So after that particular video, I've had so many people come to my comment section, like some were asking, Blessing, does it mean that I cannot switch my student visa to skill worker visa? You know, I've had so many questions coming up then. Yes, the answer remains no, you cannot switch. That is the truth, because the law is still in place. You're welcome to my channel. My name is Blessing of Blessed channel. Yeah, for those of you that are just seeing me for the first time, or that are just watching this video for the first time, you're welcome to the family. And on this channel, what we'll do here, we basically talk about life in the UK. If you have been looking for how to come over to the UK, the type of visa that will bring you in, as well as updated information about immigrations and all that, that's exactly what we'll do here. So you're in the right place. I want to use this opportunity to thank my subscribers, my followers on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and all that. I sincerely appreciate you guys. And if you want to join my other platforms, the link is there on the description box. Please do well to follow me on other platforms so you're always updated with the latest information. However, for students that came with their dependent, I think I got that question too. Like, you're married, you came with your spouse, and you're here studying. Can your spouse or can your dependent switch? If you check that list that I posted, it's not clear because it was not actually stated there that the dependent can actually switch their visas from student dependent visa to skill workers. If you check, they listed out, like there was a list out of criteria of the things that are restricted. So if you check that list, you discover that it's not there. They did not mention dependent. Yeah. If you also check, you'll discover that it said the parent of a student, yeah, the parent of a student cannot switch is there on that list. I'll put it up so that you see it again. So they did not mention dependent, yeah, they didn't mention dependent, that dependent of a student cannot switch. So what it means is that for now, dependent can actually switch. So if you're actually with your husband, you're with your wife, you are doing your master's or whichever way, and you are here with your dependent will be working. Of course, that's how it is. Your dependent will be doing the normal shift, like be working, they are not restricted. Why use the students can only work for 20 hours. So the good news is that it is exactly what it is. You understand? It still remains what it is. As a student, you cannot work more than 20 hours and you cannot switch your visa until the completion of your course. Yeah, but for a dependent can work, you know, can work for a longer hours and there is no restriction. And also a dependent can switch. That's to say, if you are a dependent and you're working with a particular company while your spouse, yeah, who is the student, is going to school as well as doing part-time work. So what this means is that even ordinarily, the dependent will be working in a company that possibly can give him or her sponsorship. So if the dependent is still with that company and the company decides to give the dependent sponsorship, yes, the company can still sponsor the dependent, then the dependent can continue working with that company. However, what is not clear is if, as a student, if your dependent can be on skilled workers visa, while you, as a student, can be on student visa. That is not clear yet because it's not stated there. Yeah, I will say it the way it is. It's not stated there if a student can be on student visa while the dependent can be on skilled workers visa, pending when the student graduates. Like when you are done with your course, then you can now switch and become the dependent of the skilled worker visa that was issued to your spouse. I don't know if you understand. So that particular part is the one that is not clear. But of course, as of today, it is clear that students cannot switch their visa from student visa to skilled workers visa until the completion of their course. Okay, and also it is clear that as a PhD student, yeah, here PhD, just like I said in my previous video, is like higher breed of masters. As a PhD student, you cannot switch to skilled workers visa from your student visa until at least 1 year to the completion of your course. Okay, that's to say for most PhD courses are like 3 years, just like I said before. So you cannot switch until you have completed at least 24 months out of the 3 years course that you are doing. So it's after the 24th month that you can now, decide to switch if you wish to. It is clear that it's a dependent of a student can switch, as it was not stated there that dependents can no longer switch, just like the way it was stated that parent of a student cannot switch. But it is not clear, or it's unclear, if dependent of a student can actually be on a skilled workers visa while the student is on student visa. That part is the part that is not clear. The last time I checked, an applicant and the dependent must be on the same routes of visa, like the same type of visa. That was the research. That was the information I had through the last research that I did. Yeah, but just like I said, it is not clear if dependent of a student can be on skilled workers visa while the student is still on student visa. There are some things that are not actually clear on this visa stuff that we are trying to get much information on, and I've been doing my research based on the questions that I've been receiving. For graduate route visa, you discover that if now as a student you have already arrived and you have completed your course, 2 years, 1 year, whatever way it is, you have already completed your course and you want to go for additional normal graduate route visa of 2 years, it is very clear that you cannot bring in your dependent on that particular visa. That's to say, if I, for instance, I have children, I have husband whom I left behind, just in the course of doing my program here in the UK. After the completion of my program, I can no longer, through that graduate route visa, bring them in as my dependent because I've completed my course. So I'm expected to just complete my course, then I go back to my country. That's how it is, or that is how it should be. But they just left it that some persons would want to let's see how I can practice the skills that I've learned from school, and let me see if I can get 1 or 2 professional jobs. So that's why they've given you those 2 years for you to settle, check if you are able to settle in the UK or you're going back to your country. So within those 2 years, you can no longer bring your dependent. I don't know if you guys are getting it. So that part is very clear. You can't bring in your dependents within those period that you are still doing your graduate route. Like you have graduated, you are under graduate visa, you can't bring in your dependent. And also, 6 months to the completion of your course, you cannot bring your dependent anymore because it's assumed that you're almost done with your studies. So what are they coming here to do? So it's for you to just do and go back. So you can only bring your dependent through this same sponsorship visa. That's through this skilled workers visa or through the PhD. Let's not forget from next year. Of course, we already know that we can no longer bring them in through normal masters effect from next year. So those are the parts that I want to clarify because I've got so many questions from this part. I think I've been able to clear some parts. That first, it remains what it is. That as a student, you cannot switch your visa until the completion of your course. Then secondly, I've explained the part that as a dependent, you can actually switch your visa, as it is not stated that if students dependents cannot switch. It's not stated on the new rules that they listed out that I had on my previous video. It's not stated there. So the thing is kind of complicated now because I got so many questions coming in. So that's why you see that most people, I respond to them that yes, it's not stated that as a dependent dependent cannot switch. So it's possible that a dependent can actually switch. But where I see that coming in is probably when the student is almost through. Like the student is almost through with the course, and then the spouse or the husband or the wife gets a job, and then the student becomes the dependent of the dependent. Then the student becomes the dependent of the dependent. I just said, okay, let me just bring out this so that I'll clear the air and give you my own opinion, the research that I've done so far on it. So on my next video, I'm going to find out if actually students and dependents can be on different routes of visa. So that is what I'm going to do research on, and as soon as I'm able to do that, of course, trust me guys, I'm going to keep you guys updated. My name remains Blessing, a Mozozo of Blessed channel. If you're here new or you find something good in what we are saying or discussion that we do on this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and as well click on the notification button so that you get notified anytime I upload new video. Thank you so much, and don't forget to like and share. Bye.